over the last few months that we have been chatting, sir, you for one have been a perennial bull, and I mean, to your credit, the the going has been great for our market. But and to my mind, I mean, I think there are two issues that has been plaguing India, India Inc. for the last couple of years. One is that rural markets are underperforming, and second is that the private capex now that is lagging. And I want to focus on issue two here, because I mean, if all of us are so gung ho on the future prospects, why is the private sector not investing in capacity? I mean, are they waiting for demand to pick up, interest rate cycle to turn, elections to be over? What's your sense of things over here, sir?
Thank you, Suyash, for having me on the show, and morning to all of you all. So, firstly, to answer your question as far as rural demand is concerned, I think uh, last year, as we had discussed earlier, monsoon was erratic, and
Hmm.
that has a significant impact as far as the semi-urban and rural India demand is concerned. Whether it is to do with discretionary spend or whether it is to do with FMCG spend. But our sense is that there are a lot of steps that the government has put in place to increase the income of semi-urban and rural India, especially large part of the population which is associated with agri activities. So uh, things over there will pick up over a period of time. And this year, according what the Met Department has said, that the impact is of El Nino is going to be a little bit lower, thereby expecting the first half of the monsoon to be in line with long-term averages. Second half could be a little bit of choppy depending upon how the El Nino impact develops in the high seas. So that will come back at some point of time. So that's the first part of your question. Second part, in respect to the private capex holding back with their investment, one primary reason is that you have a big event in the next maybe about 2.5 months in form of general election. And any corporate would want to have stability with respect to political environment. And at time when, all guns are fired up, government is taking all initiatives with respect to PLI scheme or giving encouragement for capex, uh, rolling out tax sops, etc., etc. So that will happen, but I think for private capex to pick up, elections, general elections have to be done and dusted, and the result in place as per what the anticipation is. I hope if all this goes in the right direction, private capex should possibly start coming into effect from second half of this calendar year.
All right, but there any signs that the private sector is coming back to the table, because the government has come out and said that they will borrow less this year. The focus is clearly on reducing the fiscal deficit. So I mean, a larger portion of credit is available for the private sector, sir.
So government will decide. See, government has spoken about it. Then this was a budget on account. You could not do much. The
Hmm.
honorable finance minister could not do much because of the code of conduct being in effect. And the honorable finance minister and honorable prime minister have spoken that post the election there will be a detailed budget that will be rolled out. So I guess over there you will see some changes happening. Yes, there are a lot of funds which are available for private companies to lap up, but they will only lap up when they see meaningful growth going forward from here on. And if you look at the domestic consumption as far as industrial commodities are concerned, I think that's going to pick up thick and thin as we go forward from here on. Even if you look at the recent capacity additions that some of these sectors have taken up, that augurs well as far as the future growth and demand is concerned.